All right, welcome into another edition of the Ole Miss Spirit Twitch stream as we are headed to Fayetteville, Arkansas. As you can see here on the Twitch stream, I got the home field Ole Miss hoodie on. I got to give a shout out to Heineken back here, sponsoring the Twitch stream. See if I can turn this down a little bit so you can actually read it. There we go. Shout out Heineken, shout out Nashville SC, sponsoring the stream. But yeah, let's get into it here. I'm gonna sit right here so you can see the lovely neon back there as we get things kicked off here in Donald Reynolds Razorbacks Stadium. So yeah, let's get into it here as Ole Miss will look to slow down Taylor Green this weekend. He's been a guy all year that it's been a lot of fun to watch. He's someone you just gotta contain. You gotta can't let him create, can't let him run around. He's really good at evading pressure at times where he can extend plays and help his receivers get open. Because as you know, it's hard to cover people for long periods of time, but he also will get into a habit of getting a little too excited back there, a little too creative, and can run himself into some sacks. So Ole Miss is definitely hoping that he can do that on Saturday as, wow, he just throws a bomb.
Just ran away from the defense. When we see more of this in college football, you get the right guy in that.
Let me, hold on. I'm going to look at the replay. I want to see how far that ball is thrown. So from the goal line to the other almost 30-yard line. I don't know if Taylor Green has that kind of arm talent, but that was a hell of a throw. But yeah, I mean, Ole Miss has obviously had their struggles offensively in SEC play. Haven't eclipsed 30 points yet. But offense showed some life in the second half last week against Oklahoma, I should say. Utilized the tight end a lot more. And then, yeah, just got a little more innovative with spreading the ball around, finding different ways to get the football to different playmakers. So I'm interested to see if that continues on Saturday, because Ole Miss desperately needs to spread around, especially if Trey Harris is going to play. You cannot just focus primarily on him. There's a guy right there that you can get it to. That's Caden Lee. He had a hell of a game last week. He's really stepped up in the absence of Trey Harris. Jordan Watkins is back healthy. He's been big.
This is a tough environment for visitors. And he's intercepted.
Wow.
Tackle made at the 27. A crucial takeaway. Boy, just a drive killer right there, Chris. He didn't seem to throw that ball with much confidence. Just put it up for grabs.
Yeah, you just gotta keep, be patient. Don't try to do too much. Just take what the defense gives you. Arkansas's got a decent pass rush, but really struggles against the pass. So Ole Miss has got the best quarterback statistically in the SEC, one of the best in the country. So just play to your strengths. Try to stretch the field when you can, but don't try to do too much. Don't force the run game if it's not there. I think that's been kind of the bugaboo for Ole Miss all year is they've just really tried to push the issue. That right there cannot happen on Saturday. Great coverage. You got to get to the quarterback. Can't let him sit back there and not be pressured and then just take off and run.
Sideline catch made, but out of bounds short of the first down. And he'll make his way out of bounds after gaining decent yardage.
Good job here to be able to get a foot down.
But yeah, I think it's a game that Ole Miss is the better team, matches up well. You just got to go and win a road game in the SEC. That's just what it comes down to. You just got to make it work. If you're the better team, if you're trying to get to the college football playoff, if you think that you're worthy of getting there, if you got to win out, you got to, you obviously got to beat Georgia. But this is the one that you got to get first. And if Ole Miss has aspirations of getting to the college football playoff, you have got to win this one. This guy right here that just made that catch, Jaquindon Jackson, not playing Saturday. On threes, very on. Pete Nakos reported that yesterday. He's been a big part of the offense. Transfer from Utah, originally was a quarterback. But he's been a nice addition. The true freshman, Braylon Russell, has been getting a lot of PT. Big game last week against Mississippi State. Yeah, I mean, Ole Miss's defense has been great all season. You just got to stick to it and get some stops. And then the Ole Miss offense has just got to do what they do and just get back to the basics. 3rd and 8 here. Got to get a stop. Oh, do we not challenge that? It was short.
First down. Hold on a second. There's a timeout on the field. The coach wants the officials to take another look at that one. Thinks he might get an overturn.
Is he not short?
So the challenge doesn't work. That'll cost the head coach
come on.
timeout. We'll see if that comes into play later in the ballgame.
All right.
The Razorbacks will line up on
Got to blow up in the red zone here.
To the air. It's Green. It's a quick grab. Tackled pretty quickly, but that is a decent gain on the throw.
I'm intrigued to see what Arkansas does first couple drives. Kind of see what Petrino's got in store for the defense. What's the scripted? But
very close to a first down.
I'll be intrigued to see. Does Arkansas try to do what they did against Tennessee and just try to play keep away, play slow? Do they try to?
They'll try to move the chains here on the ground.
They try to play fast and just score and try to get in a track meet, because Ole Miss has not shown the ability to score a lot in SEC play. Right now, it looks like they're just sustaining the drive and just trying to take as much time off the clock as they can. I mean, that right there is pretty pathetic. Couple broken tackles there. It's not good.
Arm tackles until finally being rewarded by getting into the end zone with that touchdown.
All right.
With the extra point, the lead is 14. Now the kickoff team is out on the field.
All right.
And that one will bounce out of the
Got to respond here.
At the 25. And the Ole Miss offense is back out on the field. This offense trying to bounce back at the last possession, ended in a pick. Big pass. Here comes a jet sweep. They stop him after a 6-yard gain, so 2nd and 4. The Rebels will come to the line to crank up the tempo. They'll look to throw it here on 2nd down. Quick completion to the tight end.
There he is.
Down, but the game moves it to the 44. The drive stays alive for a first down.
Well, this is what you see all over college football and even up, obviously, in the NFL. These tight ends that are really recruited as big receivers, and they can get one-on-one matchups, and they've got speed after the catch. This is a short throw.
Tempo. We did a podcast this week with Michael Felder, and that's what he was wanting to see. He wants more tempo from Ole Miss. He thinks that that's where they can really get after people. And I don't disagree.
On 1st and 10, looking to throw. Trying to create outside the pocket now. They're going to scramble now.
Probably could have gotten more there, but yeah, I mean, I do think that Ole Miss can really stress people defensively with tempo. Just first down's key, man.
Back to throw. It's Dart. Makes the throw across the middle of the field. He's got an open man downfield, and it's caught. Tackle made after a nice pickup.
All right, good drive. Let's get some points and then get a stop on defense.
Let's check out the quarterback comparison here.
That first drive killed us, man. We had them pinned deep in their own territory, and then Taylor Green throws a ball 60 yards.
We'll see if this game gets out of hand before halftime. The crucial second quarter beginning right now. Here we go. First play of the quarter. The offense has a first down. And he'll set up to throw. Caught near the goal line. Brought down at the 3. The offense really threatening now. Second down play. Every yard tough to find down here in the red zone. Quarterback drops back, probing this.
Worst play caller than Kiffin.
Makes the catch behind the line of scrimmage. And he scores.
All right.
Touchdown.
We're back. We're back. Good drive. 8 plays, 75 yards, minute and a half. Tempo, baby. Got to stick with tempo.
He's set to send this one away. Fielded in the end zone. It's Hill. He'll be stopped short of the 20.
All right.
Job of the coverage team.
Let's get a stop. Let's get some pressure.
Can they keep it going? They mixed the run and pass beautifully in the last touchdown drive. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
There he is.
Parker goes up 14-0. The message board shambles. Roll.
They come up with a sack. Quarterback
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
Archie jumps. If Arkansas jumps out to a 14-0 lead, man, there'd be some tight people.
Play action fake, looking to throw.
Ooh.
Incomplete. The defensive.
All right.
He did his throw that time.
3rd and forever. Let's get a stop.
If we get pressure on him,
Get a
we
sack.
have a chance to slow him down and win the football game. If we don't, could be a long afternoon. Good job here by dialing up the pressure.
He's sacked right at the 5-yard line.
Tripped him up by the shoelaces.
Defense giving you more speed on the field.
As needs to comes to the 6.
Gave the defensive line plenty of time to come up with that sack. Now it's 4th down and long.
Somebody talking about Luke Hess, the tight end at Arkansas.
It's Davis.
There's also a tight end that's up in Big Ten country in Ann Arbor that Ole Miss could maybe talk to.
Into the end zone the last time. Let's see if this defense has made some adjustments to stop him this time.
Because there are some
Picks up 2. So
rumblings that things are not great in Ann Arbor. So yeah, there is someone who is related to an Ole Miss Rebel that Ole Miss could definitely talk to.
Trying to play out wide. But here's a great example.
His name is, there he is. There's his brother. Brady Priestcorn. Ole Miss recruited him out of high school.
Play Bentley Damage.
He is at, oh man, here's speaking of tight end, let's get the man involved. Hudson Wolf.
makes the grab. It's Wolf.
Get off me.
He'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Boy,
All
great
right, baby.
quarterback recognizing zone defense.
How about
Actually didn't have anybody open.
Reynolds Razorback Stadium, 23 toughness rank.
To get outside of the pocket and be able to make that nice throw for a big
Ooh.
first down.
Buello, you gotta block that man in the hole there, sir. All right.
Does right have left.
Daquan Wright should be back next year. I think he had kind of bought into coming in, playing with Prieskorn, and then taking over next year. That was kind of the plan. All right, 3rd and 4.
Sometimes it sounds simple, but it's tough to execute.
Let's get a first down here.
Then he gets it down to the tight end. You can see what he can do after the catch.
Ooh, okay.
A really good job by this defense.
All right, I'm going to roll the dice here.
Trying to work through his progressions to find his open receiver, but before he knew it, he's on his back.
I'm going to go to the Old Faithful here.
Perhaps one more play before we hit the 2-minute warning. On 4th down, a short toss to the running back.
There it is. Atta boy.
He's a game changer. I wouldn't mind doing some motion plays with him.
Yeah, I assume Pontotoc Rev is talking about Daquan Wright. Yeah, they need to give him the ball more. He's a better athlete than Prieskorn. He's definitely a guy that I think can be a difference maker in a mismatch. I mean, he looked really good against Oklahoma. Made some big plays in the open field. I mean, he's huge, but he moves well. There we go. Tie ball game.
I'm not saying he's a Brock Bowers, but he could be close.
Not many people are Brock Bowers, but yeah, he's definitely a weapon. Especially if you go 12 personnel and you have both him and Prieskorn on the field at the same time. It's going to stress people over the middle to account for both of them. Especially if both are obviously going out on routes. But, yeah, I think you need to play them both. All right, we got 2 timeouts. Let's get a stop and try to get the ball back and score again before that, because we do get the ball in the 3rd quarter.
So here we go. First play of the drive, under 2 minutes before halftime. Running out of time in the pocket. Running back grabs it on the screen and bring him down, but the back able to
Good play call there. Good screen call.
Back to pass. It's Green. Finds that big tight end for a short pass. Tackle made after a solid gain. They'll spot the ball for 31. So the offense calls a timeout here.
It looked like they put shoe clock on there. Interesting. There we go. Kari almost got under that and picked it, but clock stops.
Is it fair to say that with Harris being out, it's forcing Jaxson to be a better QB and actually see the field?
Connect with the receiver here.
I mean, Pontotoc Reb, if you can't see, he's asking if, without Trey Harris, does Dart need to actually go through progressions and not just look at 9 and throw it to him every time? I mean, a little bit. I mean, I think a lot of Dart's quote struggles have been related to the offensive line, and then, I think a lot of it is he's been pressing. I think he's just, feels the weight of the situation with you got to win out after losing both Kentucky and LSU. I think Dart might even admit it, that he's been just trying to do too much. But, yeah, without Trey Harris, I mean, he's the best wide receiver in the country. You hope that he can get back so he can win that Biletnikoff award. Because right now, I mean, he's the runaway favorite. Yeah, talking about the light bulb. Yeah, I thought the play calling was much better, and he looked a lot more comfortable. I don't know what they said at the half, but that should have been a pick 6. Yeah, I thought he looked way more poised, and yeah, he just wasn't trying to do a lot. He was taking what the defense gave him. He was patient. I think there are times this year where Dart has needed to take off and run, and he just doesn't. I think a lot of that is probably trying to prove that he can be a guy that can play at the next level. You know, he doesn't want to just be the college quarterback that takes off and runs all the time. He's probably wanting to prove that he can, you know, go through progressions, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's a lot of, he's just trying to do a lot. But, yeah, I mean, I think the offensive line getting healthier. I think Ole Miss is getting healthy at the right time when a lot of teams are getting banged up. And I think Jaden Williams is expected to play this week. And I think that's going to be huge for the offensive line. You know, maybe that'll help spark the run game a little. But I think if anything, it's just going to help with protecting Dart. To just give him a little more time, because he hasn't had a ton of time to really do much. That's just been the big bugaboo, is he's just been running for his life pretty much all year. Let's see if we can steal one here. Nope. But yeah, I mean, he's just been, you know, he's been pressured all year. I mean, the pressure rates that Ole Miss's offensive line is allowed are pretty insane.
Thanks, guys. A first half that saw a little bit of everything there in Fayetteville. And we have to start this halftime breakdown by addressing the play of this evening.
All right, let's get down there and take the lead. Let the defense do something.
Saturdays, he's going to be playing on Sundays. The kid has different gears. He has a knack for.
Yeah, I'm expecting Ole Miss to be a little more dynamic offensively Saturday.
It's Dart. And a short pitch and catch to the tight end.
All right, let's go tempo.
After gaining decent yardage, the Rebels hustle to the line to crank up the tempo. Quarterback wants to throw it on second down. It's a short completion to the big tight end. Good enough for first down yardage. No huddle here for the offense.
Chris, we get so caught up in these wide receivers and their playmaking ability and getting them the ball in space. And like the defense has to pay attention to it. Often too much attention opens up an underneath drag route like this, and quarterback makes a good read. Nice first down.
Going to try to use his legs here. And a big
there we go. Man coverage. Take what they give you.
Churning gets a fresh set of downs. And the Rebels
I would like to see them move the pocket more instead of standing in pocket every play.
Yeah, I've said the same thing about just Dart's been a statue, and just a lot of long developing passing plays that are just not going to help when the offensive line is really struggling. Man, we got him in man coverage here. All right, let's see if we can get a first down, and then all right, if they're still in man, let's take a shot.
Offense in hurry-up mode. On 1st and 10 here, looking to.
His internal clock is off. He's holding it way too long.
And he'll step out of bounds after.
Yeah, I mean, again, I maybe a little bit of both, where holding the ball too long and then just trying to do a lot when he doesn't really need to. That's been my biggest thing. I think Dart has put a lot of pressure on himself with, you know, the Last Dance stuff and coming back and wanting to get to the college football playoff. I mean, that's the thing that I thought was a little disingenuous after the LSU game, when everybody was like, oh, he's got the hood on, like, he's pouting. Like, man, I don't think that's it at all. Like, there's no doubt that Jaxson Dart cares and he wants to win. Like, I don't think that's what it was. And I talked to several people. I talked to a couple NFL guys, and they said the same thing. They didn't look at it as like he was pouting. Just a guy that wants to win and is a competitor. Yeah, I mean, I think the entire offense is frustrated at this point. I mean,
Give me 6.
You know, give me 6. You know that, like, the first 4 games, yeah, you're playing nobodies, but the offense was humming. Everybody was having a good time. And then you start to hit a lull. I mean, it's frustrating. With all the talent and all the playmakers, it's gonna piss people off. You know, these guys that are so talented and were expected to come in and do a lot of things, and then it's just been weird. I think a lot of it though is just the play calling is just going to be, has to be more creative.
Saturday. I think we win 38-14.
Man, I thought he was keeping that. Yeah, I've seen some people say that a little breakout game for Ole Miss. Ole Miss is going to have to get to Taylor Green, and I think if you force him to make some bad throws, get some turnovers. Yeah, I mean, Young Thug, I mean, you know, it's been free Young Thug for a while now, and I mean, I think definitely the Rebs are going to play for him. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's no doubt Taylor Green has a ton of arm talent and is super athletic and fun and can make plays, but he's not been super efficient all year. So if you can get him to make some mistakes.
There's a screen pass to the running back.
Yeah, get him some third and long, some predictable passing situations, and get him to try to maybe force one, and then make him pay. I think that's going to be key for this defense on Saturday. Is if you get to a point, I mean, you saw it last Saturday. If you get to a point where the Ole Miss defense can pin their ears back and just come after a guy, it's not going to end well. Man, people keep asking me about Aiden Williams, and I'm not in the room. I don't know. It's got to be something to do with trust. I think that's the big thing, because Kiffin's big on trust. You got to know the playbook. You got to know what you're doing, because we saw it last year a couple times where Aiden Williams was playing, ran the wrong route, you know, didn't make a block, and Kiffin was visibly pissed on the sideline, and that was big for, if you want to, I mean, Caden Lee's a perfect example. Knows the playbook and knows what he's doing, and he's getting a lot of playing time. So I think that's kind of what it is at this point with Aiden Williams. Like, he's just got to be able to know what he's doing. So there's no doubt he has talent, and he's a guy who can make plays, but yeah, you gotta know your assignment. You gotta know what you're doing, and again, like if Kiffin can't trust you, then you're not gonna play.
He's had a mediocre year at best.
Yeah, it's a good question about Juice Wells. I don't know. That's an interesting question. That I would say no. But yeah, I mean, there's no doubt he's been underwhelming and hasn't really been as big of a weapon and a focal point of the offense as people thought he would be. That's what you need on Saturday right there. Tyler Banks, shout out Virginia. The RVA, baby. All right, terrible punt. Let's go down and make them pay. Let's get up 2 scores. This is where Ole Miss in real life has struggled this year. You have opportunities to put people away, you got to do it.
Using him wrong. I feel like he needs quick hitches and makes people miss instead of deep threat.
I agree. I think that I made the comparison. And hell, I talked to somebody when Juice Wells committed to Ole Miss in the portal, and they said that Juice Wells reminded them of Deebo Samuel, and South Carolina did that. South Carolina would move him around, utilize his athleticism, his quickness, and put him in the backfield, throw some swing routes. I think that's absolutely what you should do with Juice Wells. He's explosive. He's good in space. He's got some of the better yards after catch statistics. Clark Brooks is a good follow on Twitter, SEC StatCat. I highly recommend following him. He puts up a lot of good numbers. And yeah, Juice Wells is in like the top 5, I think, in the SEC. Even though he's had a lackluster year, when he gets the ball, he makes you pay. But somebody asked about Walker Howard. I think he's definitely going to stick around for the spring and battle. I don't know if he'll stick around if he doesn't get the job. I kind of think he will. All right, good drop, good drop. Didn't want to take that loss. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe maybe he sticks around and battles. I think that'll be a good quarterback competition with him and Austin. There's obvious things to like about Austin Simmons. Just elite arm talent. Yeah, the Van Buren kid's fun. Levy's got a good one. I think that I mean they are god awful, but they've made some games interesting with him. All right.
Well, Chris, that's a great example of why we see these college football coaches.
But yeah, I think Walker Howard sticks around and tries to win the job, and then we'll battle.
You want to protect your franchise guy?
With Austin Simmons. I don't think it's an easy runaway, you know, I don't think this is anything like Austin Simmons has got the job locked up or anything. I mean, he's super talented and the staff loves him and thinks that he's capable of being that guy, but Walker Howard was a highly rated 4-star for a reason.
They are backed up and they are desperate. They've got to make a play here. The offense just has to take.
He's already used his full 1-year transfer, so if he does again, he has to sit a year.
Shotgun running play call.
Yeah, that's right about Howard. Yeah, he would have to sit. Which at this point, like I don't even know if the NCAA can enforce that.
Thinking about working that clock and
Could probably get a waiver or something.
Scanning the field, it's Dart. Quarterback delivers complete to the right side. Bring him down short of the goal line, but it's 1st and goal from the 2.
All right, let's punch it in, fellas.
That one really hurts for this defense. They get these guys to 3rd down, a chance to maybe get them off the field, and they give up a 1st down late in the game. The clock will continue to roll.
JJ and keep it realistic.
Yeah, I don't even know. I wonder if they have a pack. I'm sure there's a playbook you can download to have JJ Pegues in there for like a halfback direct. But I don't know if I can find it. All right, let's try to see if we can get Caden Lee in the end zone.
Parrish 3 more times.
That's realistic. Henry Parrish 3 more times. All right, let's run it into the boundary here. All right, Kalipo. Yeah. Physical. Do it yourself.
It's just me. I really think we can beat Georgia next week at home. Our defense is gone. Be ready. Our offense just got us 4 points.
Yeah, I think, look, dude, anything can happen at this point. I mean, Vanderbilt beat Alabama. So Ole Miss beating Georgia is not some, like, miraculous, you know, event. I mean, sure, it can happen. It's at home. I especially think it's very, very possible if Ole Miss...
I put my left foot on it.
If Ole Miss handles business in Fayetteville and... Yeah, don't do that. Don't put your nut on it. If Ole Miss can handle business convincingly in Fayetteville, has some good vibes coming back. Plus 11 a.m. kick, that's good because you can win and get back in time to be ready and be in the office on Sunday. There it is. John Saunders had the pick last year to seal it. Yeah, I mean, look, Georgia's defense was Death Star mode against Texas. Oh, we got the chain out. There we go. But, look, there's no getting around the struggles that Carson Beck has had. I mean, he has not looked the same. He was dynamic as hell last year. Couldn't miss. He was accurate. But he had a lot of weapons. Last year you had McConkey, you had Bowers. they had oh, what's his name?
Mediocre, and he really has no weapons this year.
AD Mitchell.
Georgia will the talking heads quit with the he can't win a big game BS. Mitchell.
AD Mitchell leaving was big because he was a legitimate dude for them. Which people forget, AD Mitchell was at one point committed to Ole Miss.
See, that's how you limit what an offense wants to do. This time, the defense just won the
But
battle up front at the line.
yeah, if Ole Miss beats Arkansas, gets to 7-2, it's going to be an interesting game.
To throw. It's
Yeah, FR. If he beat Georgia, they can quit. He can't win the big game bull crap. Crank ass.
more than enough to pick up a first down.
Crank that hog. Yeah, you're right. If Ole Miss beats Georgia, then yeah, the Lane Kiffin can't do it on the big stage. That's over. I do think that game day is not going to be in Oxford next week. Just a weird feeling. I think that he is. I think game day is going to go to Baton Rouge. Just night game. If Ole Miss had a night game against Georgia, I think it might have been different. But I don't know. Just a feeling. Shout out High Noon for sponsoring the Twitch stream as well. But yeah, it's going to be.
Get screwed for game day too. That's
I think Ole Miss wins Saturday, 7-2, probably going up against a one-loss Georgia. Then yeah, I mean people are going to be on the ceiling in Oxford. It's going to be crazy.
Death Valley jerking the Bengals off.
That's right. But hey, game day or not, you got to handle business if you want to get into the playoff.
They stop him at the 23. That's solid coverage. And the Razorbacks offense is back out on the field. Well, this
Hey, once we cranked up the pressure a little bit,
looks downfield and connects with a wide open wide receiver.
If who's there, we are going to beat the ass.
Plus 22. Great scoring position now. They'll hurry to the line.
that guy's a dude to keep an eye on Saturday. The tight end,
Now FR
Luke Hess, he's good.
Ain't no in between.
Hey,
Stop the clock.
Lil Bell 22, I love it. I mean, this team is definitely capable of winning out. There's no doubt about it.
Second down play coming up.
It's a very different Georgia team this year.
700.
Defense is really starting to hit its stride.
It's Green. The pocket breaking down.
But
Receiver makes the
yeah, it's going to be a fun game.
makes the stop after the
I
completion.
selfishly, as a college football fan, I hope Ole Miss wins Saturday, so it'll be 7-2 versus 7-1, whatever Georgia, and it'll be big time.
Down play here out of the shotgun. Looking to the end zone.
Too much time. All right,
Arkansas.
let's go score and cover.
1 on 3. You my guys keep up the good work. I check the forum every 15 seems like for good news.
I appreciate the kind words, my guy. We do our best. We work hard at the Spirit. I think we collectively do a good job.
PAT makes the lead.
And speaking of, checking the board for good news,
They're lining up
oh,
the onside kick.
I hate that they don't let you audible in the game. Back in like NCAA 14, you could audible. But yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be a big uptick in recruiting coming.
It looks like the hands team are able to recover the football.
There we go. Yam Banks. All right, let's get selfish. Let's score.
Position here for the offense. First down, looking to throw the ball. He's looking to make a big play.
There he is. First touch.
Rebels. Strong game by this quarterback.
Head tap. Put him to sleep.
Love to see a football team that doesn't get caught up in the scoreboard. They're just out
Rebs
executing,
cover.
doing what needs to be done. That's what we're seeing from this offense. Yeah, they continue to put points on the board and they're pulling away. I just love to see the execution and how they're going about their
All
business.
right.
And they're able to tackle on the extra point.
I think if
Kickoff team now. Set
this is how the game goes on Saturday, people will be very excited
kickoff
for
inside the 20.
42-24.
Georgia.
That's more like it. Would love to score 42 FR.
Here's the first play of the drive now, set up at the 24. Looking downfield, it's Green. Quick throw to his receiver. Oh, downfield catch made on the left side. Big gain, moves the ball across.
All right, there's a dub. 21 points in the fourth. Really bounced back in the second there before halftime to make it a ball game after getting down 14-0. Henry Parrish, player of the game with 4 touchdowns. We got Cameron Bell asking about Caleb Cunningham. Yes, I will have a Grove chatter coming out tomorrow. A lot of stuff in there about Caleb Cunningham and a couple other targets for 2025. Caleb Cunningham, I believe, is expected to be back in town for the Georgia game. And then he's obviously going to take an official at some point. But yeah, this is kind of how the game could actually go. Struggle to run the football, but Jaxson Dart, 2 picks, but threw for 262. I mean, you look at the 4 touchdowns, 23 for 27. I mean, 2 of the incompletions were picks. I mean, that's a pretty damn good day at the office for Jaxson Dart, despite the interceptions. And then, yeah, spread the ball around. 6 for Prescorn, 5 for Caden Lee, 4 for Daquan Wright. Yeah, the Keelan Russell thing, honestly, he was very, very, very high on Ole Miss. And then when Alabama came calling, I think the Kalen DeBoer pitch was like, you're not left-handed, but we think we can turn you into Michael Penix. So hard to argue that, but yeah, I Ole Miss absolutely had their sights on Deuce Knight. But I think it was more so both of those guys are going to need some time. And I think that's something that people need to realize with recruiting is these quarterbacks are not going to come in and just, Trevor Lawrence kind of ruined that for people with true freshman quarterbacks and young guys playing quarterback. I mean, it's hard.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, Jaxson Dart's a third-year starter, and there are times when he's struggling against SEC defenses. I mean, you've got the anomalies here and there with like Marcel Reed. What he's doing at A&M is a lot of fun. I mean, hell, I saw that dude do that every Friday night here in Nashville, so that's not a surprise. He's a hell of a competitor. So yeah, happy for him. He's fun as hell to watch, and I hope A&M will just let him cook and just take over. The Wegman thing doesn't work. But now that there's film out on Marcel Reed playing a whole half, it will be interesting to see how people defend him. But you got Kari Coleman leading the way with 8 tackles. Jared Ivey, I mean, just Mr. Consistency, 3 tackles for loss and a sack. This is the first time on the stream in a long time that Walter Nolan was pretty quiet.
More of the offensive plays we used when we had Kenny at T.
Yeah, talking about Kenny Yeboah, I mean, I went back a couple weeks ago and watched a lot of the 2020 and 2021 offense, and yeah, it was pretty exciting, but different OC. So, if Lane Kiffin and Jeff Levy could have just gotten over their beef, Jeff Levy might be the highest paid coordinator in the country right now. But all right, 42-24, Ole Miss defeats Arkansas. Honestly, that could happen on Saturday. Garbage touchdown there for Arkansas to get into the 20s, but Ole Miss offensively overwhelms the Hogs, gets the dub, moves to 7-2 to set up a gigantic matchup with Georgia at home. I will be in Oxford for that one. It's going to be a big weekend. You got basketball, you got Grambling State on Friday, and there will be probably upwards of 50 to 60 prospects in town. So appreciate everybody on the stream. Appreciate everybody chatting on the stream. That was fun. I moved the chat over to where I can see it. So if people have actually been on the stream and chatting, I just haven't been able to see it because of camera up there. But appreciate it, and you know, shout out Heineken back here sponsoring the stream, High Noon, and everybody else at the Ole Miss Spirit. But that'll do it. If you're going to Fayetteville, be safe and enjoy the game. Until next time, we out of here.